That was attractive. Hey guys, Ben here from Small Town Life. Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I just came over a throat infection. I think I had pharyngitis. It was like the infection of the front of the throat. I'm still on antibiotics. Pretty shitty. Been feeling under the weather, so I haven't really been making videos because I haven't been 100%. But today's video, coming to you from one of the look. I just gotta show you guys because it's like the nicest day. I mean, it's still cold as balls. Oh, it's chilly. Holy fuck, it's cold. But it's beautiful. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's nice, but it's still very cold. Just came over a snowstorm. I'm sure you guys in northern United States and eastern Ontario and stuff just came over that same one. We got about a foot of snow. I know some people got about 2 feet, 3 feet. Some people were stuck in their cars in Montreal. Just terrible. But anyways, back to the point of this video. Today I'm going to take apart my 1022. I already kind of started, kind of cheated. But basically, already broke it. Basically, I'm just going to take it apart, do my routine maintenance on it. I mean, it's still clean. I haven't shot it in a while. But I'm just going to do my routine maintenance, take it apart, bring you guys along, and basically it's going to be a how-to video on how to take it apart, put it back together, clean it properly. So, yeah, I'll bring you guys along, and thanks for watching. Happy St. Patty's Day, by the way, March 17th. It's a beautiful day. Anyway, so let's break down how easy it is to do this. So basically, this is a 1022 takedown. It has an aftermarket stock, obviously. It has the Takstar takedown stock, just in the black. So first things first, obviously make sure your gun is clear, no live rounds, no nothing. Make sure all the accessories are off. So if you have a sling or an optic or a bipod or something, take it off because it just makes it more cumbersome. So what you're going to do, obviously, is you're going to take your bolt handle, bring it back, and then on the left side of the gun, you have your bolt lock. Lock it, obviously. Take your pin, twist. 1022 takedown, it's that simple. I'll do the barrel after, but it's a clean barrel. I'm just going to make sure there's no debris in it, put a fresh coat of oil. All I'm going to use is a bore snake today. So for the receiver, what you're going to need is I like to use a roll of duct tape as a pin punch, I guess, so it gives me a hollow core. Some kind of punch. I just use a little simple screwdriver because my pins are very loose in my receiver. And then either an Allen key or I just use my Leatherman big kit. 5/32 is the size for the receiver bolt. So all you do is obviously take your Allen key or whatever your tool you're using, and then obviously unscrew it. This gun, by the way, is not dirty. I'm just doing my routine maintenance on it. So after you got your bolt loose, there's one trick with the 1022 is you have to center your safety, your finger safety, as best as you can. I do have the aftermarket mag release, but it doesn't make that difficult. Try to center it, pull forward, and there you go. For your stock, I mean, it's pretty much up to you. I mean, a lot of people don't do this, but I like to put oil on a piece of paper towel and just wipe down the inside of my stock where grime and gunk like to build up. So that's the stock done. So now it's the receiver. So like I said, my pins are very loose. So basically take your screwdriver, obviously make sure it's a smaller diameter than your pins. Release your bolt first, actually makes life a lot easier. Punch your pins out. You have 2 pins. Put them aside. Take your trigger group out of your receiver. Now you have your receiver, your bolt, your recoil handle, and then your bolt buffer. Next step, take your punch. Remove your bolt buffer. This is a kit aftermarket bolt buffer, so it's a stainless steel insert with a rubber overmold. Remove the bolt buffer, and after that, this is probably like taking this out, putting this back in. It's honestly the hardest part of this process, but even then, it's not even difficult. Bring your bolt back. Take your index finger, flip it over, and then your bolt is out. Take your bolt handle, your recoil spring out, and then that's honestly the dismantling of your 1022. And like I said before, this gun is not dirty, but I'm just doing a routine maintenance, oil clean, just making sure that everything is running properly, because this is the gun I like to keep out in case if there's a raccoon, wild animal, someone breaks into my house. So basically, obviously, make sure there's no deformations, cracks. Make sure your receiver is in good shape. Basically, I like to use Q-tips to clean the inside of the receiver because it's kind of hard to get your hands in there. Also, a good little wire brush also works very good after your day shooting. And basically all you want to do is make sure there's no gunk, no grime, nothing that could hinder performance. And after it's all clean, I mean, like I said before, this gun is clean. I'm just doing oiling and maintenance and probably going to store it. But basically, my preferred way of cleaning any firearm, especially this small one, is I like to get a big plastic bowl, metal bowl, fill it with hot water and soap, and basically let all your parts sit in there for 10 minutes. And the hot water will actually cause the grime of the gunpowder to actually become loose. And after that, take it out, give it a quick wipe down with paper towel to remove all the moisture. And after that, get a piece of paper towel or a cookie tray, and just spray all your parts with either whatever product you have. I use Strikehold metal conditioner. Rem oil would work too. Deep WD-40 works as well. Pretty much any lubricant, and let them sit. It doesn't really matter how long, to be honest. 20 minutes, I guess, works for me. And then after come back, get a good clean rag and just wipe down everything. And you'll see that all that grime that was built up after a day's shooting will come off pretty easily, depending on, you know, what ammo you're using. If you're using like Remington Thunderbolt, you might have to put a little bit more elbow grease in there. But after that, pretty much everything's ready to go. One good thing, obviously, is your bolt actually is probably the most fickle part. Move your firing pin back and forth, up and down. If you hear any grimy sounds, that means you need more cleaning. A good trick is use your air compressor and just point your nozzle from the back and just point out the front, and all that grime will come out. Same with your ejector. If you do hear grime, just keep working at it. Wipe down, put oil, wipe down, put oil, until you don't hear that grime anymore. Because honestly, that's when malfunctions start to happen, and you don't want that out of a firearm. So after everything is clean, same with your guide rod. Make sure there's no deformations, black markings. Clean it properly. After that, it's a very simple process. I mean, I bought this gun for how easy it was to clean, and honestly, it's probably one of the best 22 semi-autos on the market, in my opinion. So after that, I like to use Hops 9 lubricating oil, because it's actually a thick oil. It's not something that will dissipate. I like to put some on the actual bolt itself. Just use your finger. Q-tip works as well, because I like to coat everything in a little bit of oil, just to make it run smoother. I mean, don't go crazy. A lot of oil is never good either. I like to put a little bit of oil along the firing pin. Pretty much just coat everything in oil. Good trick with the spring: depress your spring and let it fly away from you. Take a little bit of lubricating oil, put it at the bottom when your spring is depressed, and basically just rock that up and down until you'll feel it, the oil start to work, and it'll start working smoother, which is good. So those two parts are done. For the receiver, there's different opinions on where to put oil. I like to put oil in that little channel. Just use your finger, because that's where your bolt is actually running across, up here, right? It's running across. I like to put a little bit up there, and that's honestly all the oil I use. Don't overdo it, obviously. And then this is the hardest part. So basically the trick to this is that obviously this sits on your bolt, right? So this is your bolt, and it's going to sit like that in your receiver. So this is the hardest part. There's a couple tricks, but I just like to do this. So basically I depress it with my index finger in the receiver, take my other index finger on the outside, and then what I do, this works none of the time, especially on camera, it's probably not going to work. Depress it. I mean, it's kind of cockeyed as usual. So what I like to do is I like to put it forward. I like to put the front forward first. The front forward first. Good English, Ben. See, it's probably not going to work, because I'm on camera. You know, everything on camera is more difficult. Oh. You don't force it, obviously, because that's no good. So after you kind of jimmy it in there, I mean, it depends on your 10-22. I mean, they're all different. They all react differently, in my opinion. I mean, there's not one that's going to be the same. There's so much quality control that happens that it's different in the 10-22. I mean, they push these out of their factory like crazy. So I'm sure there's different, you know, everything's different by a couple thousands probably. So then after you get it, you put your bolt in, release it, make sure your spring is working properly. After that, take your bolt buffer. I have the Kit bolt buffer, so it's rubber, obviously. And then I feed it on the top, spin. Honestly, guys, if you have a 10-22, you need one of these. Noise is definitely something it helps with. And honestly, it just makes your receiver last that much longer, because it is an aluminum receiver and it is soft. And steel and aluminum, obviously, you know, they don't they don't work together very well, because obviously the stock bolt buffer is steel, and then your bolt is steel, and then just that constant hitting when firing will eventually crack your receiver. And for $10, it's probably one of the best parts you can get. So after you get your rubber in, put your stainless steel pin in, and that's honestly it. Make sure it's running good. There's no problems. After that, take your trigger group. This is an aftermarket trigger group, but it's the same principle. Take your 2 stainless steel pins, plop those in there. Oh yeah. Make sure it's running fine. Then take your stock, center the safety, plop it in. I have a Wheeler here, Wheeler fat wrench. This is just a torque wrench, torque screwdriver I should say. It goes up to 60 inch-pounds. I know a lot of guys know what this is. There's different opinions on what strength, what tightness you should put on the receiver bolt. I've heard 20 inch-pounds, 10 inch-pounds. Usually I just do 15. Just depends on, like I've done, it all depends. The stock acts differently. There's a lot of trial and error when you're shooting a 1022 takedown, because there's a lot of parts that move, obviously, and there's a lot of parts that come together and come apart, I should say. So you have to find that right, what's the word I'm looking for? Find the right order. Like every bolt has a different specification on what tightness it needs, and you just have to find the right group to find the best. I can't speak English right now. That's just hard. Too many beers on St. Patty's Day. It's like 11. No, it's like noon, and I've already had a couple. Anyways, that's done. I'm gonna do this after, because I'm gonna take the trigger group apart now to clean that. But that's done. Make sure it functions properly. It does, so that's good. Did something right today. So now for the barrel. The barrel. Probably the worst part of the gun. So honestly, one of the easiest things, this, like I said before, this barrel is clean. Just a simple little thing I use is a bore snake. I think a lot of people know what a bore snake is. I just use a Viper. It's made for 22, 2223, 556, obviously for AR or guns of that sort. They're well made. They last a long time. They're expensive. That's 25 bucks Canadian. So for you Americans, you guys are fucking lucky. This is an all-in-one system. Obviously, it comes with brush, and then it comes with your wipes. So what I like to do is I take some strike hold, and then I like to soak the brush part, just so it's lubey and goes down easier. You feed the weighted end down the back of your barrel, and just pull it through. It's that simple. It's a good process. It's a good process for the field, and it's a very quick way to clean your barrel. When I'm at home, which is right now, or my gun's actually dirty, this is like the final stage. I just like to do it at the end. But when your gun is clean, it's a good way to do it. Just pull it through. Do that as many times as you want. 2 times is good enough for me, because I know the barrel is clean. So after that, the gun is stainless steel. Take your barrel, bring your bolt back, lock. That's all. Of course, I changed the tightness of the barrel screw. So after that, take your rag full of oil. It is aluminum, but I like to wipe everything down. And then after that, cock it, dry fire, everything works fine. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's the dismantling and putting back together of the 1022, and just your routine maintenance, cleaning it. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment, leave a like, let me know how I did. This is definitely an easy gun to take apart. Don't be scared when it comes to firearms to take them apart. People design them to be taken apart and cleaned, so don't be intimidated by it, especially with this gun. It's a pellet gun, in my opinion. It's nothing crazy. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.